Weatherspoon, you have brought your ex to court because you claim she is trying to pin her 3-year-old son, Aiden Ferguson, on you. You claim to know who her child's father is, and that isn't you. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Ferguson, you claim that the plaintiff is denying your child only because he is a deadbeat who runs from his responsibilities. You testify you are certain he's your son's father, and once it's proven, he owes you and your son an apology. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Mr. Weatherspoon, why do you believe Ms. Ferguson is trying to pin her baby on you?
Well, first of all, Your Honor, from the time that I met this woman until now, it's been nothing but lies and deception. She know how I am with our oldest son, which is Cameron, and also my other kids as well.
You're such
she know
a
that
liar.
I'm a father and that I take real good care of my kids. So she wants it for herself. She like to make mistakes, and then she wants me to clean it up for her. We was together at one point, Your Honor, so she know what type of man that I am, and she wants me to share that same joy with the other kids that she also have. So that's why she's accusing me today.
But you believe she's just trying to pin this baby on you. You believe she's just trying to pin this baby on you.
Trying to pin them on me.
Are you doing that, Miss Ferguson?
No, Your Honor. If I pin some kids on this man, them his kids. I ain't just gonna pin no kids up on this man. He ain't nobody.
So you have another child together, an older child.
Yes, we do.
But you refuse to accept Aiden.
No, yes, Your Honor, yes, I do not accept him at all. My mama raised me not to never let a woman like this come and try to bring me down.
Woman like how? What woman? Woman like how?
So hold on, Miss Ferguson, does Mr. Weatherspoon treat Aiden differently than he does the other children?
I feel like he does.
How so?
When he calls me or message me, he only asks about Cameron. He don't never ask about Aiden.
Really?
Yes.
And when he's coming to see Cameron, he doesn't play with Aiden?
He'll probably speak to Aiden, but he don't give him like that fatherly feel how he get Cameron. And Aiden deserves a father, his father, to be there just as well as he's there for his oldest brother.
Now you have Cameron, the first child.
Yes, Your Honor.
You don't question the paternity of Cameron, Mr.
No, I do not.
Weatherspoon.
No,
all right.
I do not. But
so,
I did start having my doubts, Your Honor, because after a while of us being together, I was actually sick one day and ended up going to go check my mailbox. I noticed the car was pulling up.
That wasn't me.
So I turned around and I think that car pulling up. So when the car pulled up, she got out the car. But as I'm looking over her shoulder, I see a white boy in the car with her. So I'm looking like, you know, what's going on? I say, Belinda, who is that white man outside of my house? You know what I'm saying? So she's like, he just a friend. He just let me use his car to come over here. So in my mind, I'm thinking to myself, she never mentioned his friend.
You thought she was cheating?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you confronted her about that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Miss Ferguson, were you cheating?
He was teaching me how to drive. We was friends.
Is he teaching you how to drive or teaching you how to ride?
He teaching me.
That's two different things.
He taught me how to drive out of a friendly gesture. That's all it was. It wasn't no intimate anything going on between me and that man. I even knew him before I even met Cordero.
So you were never intimate with him?
We was intimate before I even met him, but it was one time.
Okay, so see, now the plot thickens.
We was at, the supermarket, holding hands. I mean, we weren't holding hands.
Wait a minute.
We wasn't holding hands.
Oh.
We wasn't. I'm sorry. We wasn't holding hands. We was at the supermarket.
Wait a minute. You testified earlier that you were not holding hands.
It came out wrong. We was not holding hands, but we was at the supermarket. We was at the supermarket together.
So now that's the same man that's teaching you how to drive. Now he's taking you to the supermarket.
Yes.
All this while you're supposed to be in a relationship with Mr. Weatherspoon.
Yeah, but at that time, I didn't feel like me and him would be serious. I didn't know that we was gonna get as serious as we did. So I was still, I was talking to a friend. I didn't feel like it was going. I didn't feel like I was disrespecting him. I didn't feel like I was disrespecting him.
So now he says he's done. At some point you break up?
Yes, we did. We broke up. I ended it. I didn't want it no more.
And that's before Aiden was conceived.
Exactly.
So now you're convinced that she was dating another guy during this breakup.
One time she called me and she told me Cameron needed Pampers. She didn't know when I was gonna come and bring the Pampers. I didn't tell her, but it was 7 o'clock at night. I decided to come and drop his Pampers off. I rang her doorbell. She normally answered her doorbell. You know what I'm saying? But this time she didn't answer, so I called her phone. She didn't answer the phone call, so I texted and said, I'm downstairs with my son Pampers. So she texted me back and said, I'm at church. So I'm thinking to myself, you at church? It's 7 o'clock at night. She said, I'm at night church with a family member.
I'm just glad she going somewhere, church, so she be riding in that car with everybody. So you was at church?
Yes, I was at church.
You said?
Yeah.
Who
Yes,
took
Your
you?
Honor. My sister.
Thank you, Lord. So, Mr. Weatherspoon, so you at the door with the Pampers. She says, I'm at church.
Yes.
Then what happens?
And then I found the other family members, the other family members of hers to confirm her story. And that family member says, no, she's not at no church with the other family member, that was a lie. So I text her phone back and said, where's you at with my son? You're not at no church. So she called me and said, I'm on my way. Whole time I'm standing on the strip in the building where she at, I noticed the car pulled up on the side. She hurried up and get my son out, and she came out and talked to me. I said, I thought you was not gonna take my son back to that street thug house.
Oh, wait, hold on. When she pulled up, she didn't get out of her sister's car?
No, she got out of the street thug's car.
You tell Mr. Weatherspoon you pregnant?
Yes, Your Honor.
That's the first person you tell?
Yes, Your Honor. He the first person that I told.
Did you tell the other guy?
No, the other guy didn't have no reason.
Why not?
No, because I wasn't sexually active with the other guy. We was just conversating. When I was going to his house, we was just chilling. It was never anything sexual between us.
Right, y'all was chilling at his house.
Yeah, because you go to somebody's house doesn't mean you have to have sex with them.
Come on, man, he's a street thug.
We never had sex. We never had sex.
Oh, Lordy. So, Miss Ferguson, I really want to keep it real. Are you suggesting that through all of this, everything you've done all this time, you've never had sex with anybody else?
No, Your Honor.
Are you for real?
So all it is entertainment, nothing sexual.
Who entertains a super thug, Yana? Who does that?
These results. In the court file, it is indicated, Mr. Weatherspoon, you brought another case. Because you questioned paternity of her 1-month-old son, Elijah, as well.
Yes, Yana.
So when I say paternity issues repeat themselves until they are resolved, that's the truth. How do we get to the point where a 1-month-old baby, another baby, has a question of paternity over its head? You don't know if this baby is yours either?
No, Yana, I do not. I do not know if that.
So tell me how this started.
Well, Yana, this all started, I actually had sex with her actually one time. Throughout this time, you know, we was broken up or whatever, but I had no clue that she was seeing a guy from work. She never mentioned that to me. So, you know what I'm saying? I was my man. I don't know what my man was. I came over one time, we talked. It was the heat of the moment type thing, and it happened. You know what I'm saying? But whole time she was in a relationship with another guy.
I wasn't in a relationship with the other guy.
Yeah, no, she got this thing with just putting babies on me and just telling me babies is mine.
Well, you the one sleeping with her.
Yeah, I mean, I slept with her at a point, but at the end of the day, you already in a relationship with somebody else. So you bypassing this relationship that you're in, that you having sex with a guy on a constant basis to a guy that you slept with one time.
But at this point, you're broken up. How do you know she's with somebody else?
She admitted it to me. She admitted it to me. It was times where I came to pick up camera, Yana, and I knocked on the door. I've been outside for maybe 5 minutes. I can hear feet inside the house.
You never saw that.
You hear what?
I can hear feet running inside the house like somebody looking out the window. Yeah, feet. I can hear feet outside.
Feet, honey.
You know what I'm saying?
So you just assume
like
that
somebody
it's
was
the guy
running,
that
trying to hide. Like they was running, trying to hide.
Could that be the children?
Oh no, you know children's foots from grown men feet.
Oh, these were heavy.
Yeah, they was heavy feet. Yeah, they was heavy feet.
Were you sleeping with a coworker, Miss Ferguson?
Yes, I did sleep with a coworker, but when he came to my house, that wasn't even a coworker that I was sleeping with.
Oh, so it's another guy.
It was a whole nother guy. He never even saw the coworker. So I don't understand why he studied throwing that up in there. That wasn't even him.
So there were other men at your house?
Yeah, but it was only one man at my house.
So why was he running through the house when he not
It wasn't him running. It wasn't him running.
So why did it take so long for you to open the door?
I thought it was Aaron's or Rent-A-Center or something. I didn't even know. I didn't even think it was you.
In October, you indicate you were intimate with Mr. Weatherspoon.
Yes, Your Honor.
And that was one time?
One time.
During the month of October?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And now, in the red, you found out 3 months later you were pregnant with Elijah in January.
Yes, Your Honor.
How did you find out you were pregnant?
Cordero actually told me that I looked pregnant. And once he told me that I looked pregnant, I took a pregnancy test. But I was still having periods. So it kind of, I wasn't really sure was I pregnant or not. But I mean, I really did have a pudge.
When was Elijah born?
July 10th.
You say you were intimate with your coworker when?
The end of November, beginning of December.
So November, so we count back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you got October is when you identified that you were intimate with Mr. Weatherspoon. And in your mind, Mr. Weatherspoon would be Elijah's biological father.
Yes, Your Honor.
You counted back.
Yes, Your Honor.
Your Honor, I object that calendar because it's completely wrong, and she knows it. Your Honor,
How is it completely wrong?
Your Honor, the woman was actually due in August. So if you count back from her original due date in August, I don't know.
So you are saying Miss Ferguson was actually due in August?
Yes, Your Honor.
August 1st.
Okay.
So it really isn't a big difference.
So, yeah, she was actually due in August. I don't know what persuade that date to make her have that baby in July, but she was actually due in August. So if you count back from the date from August, you get November. So where's...
And that's when she said she was intimate with the other guy.
Exactly.
So
But I had
November...
Elijah 2 weeks early.
Other guy.
I had Elijah 2 weeks early, Your Honor. 2 weeks. I had him at 38,
Well,
37 weeks.
we can't predict when babies are due. That's why they give us a window of conception. Have you seen Elijah? He's just 1 month old.
I just saved him right there on that screen.
That's the first time you've seen him.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Your Honor. Actually, she had called me, which I really did still get a good look at him. She had no ride from the hospital at this moment, and I feel sorry for her because, you know, I got my first son with her, so I'm not going to leave her out bogus. She needed a ride back. From where we was at, they don't let you leave the hospital with your child unless you have a car seat in the car to take him home.
That is correct.
So I came up there, picked her up, you know what I'm saying, and I dropped her off at her destination.
And you saw the baby that day?
No,
Yes.
he didn't.
But you didn't participate in...
He didn't.
I really didn't see him because, you know, his face was kind of covered, but I looked back and took a glance.
You know, Ms. Ferguson, you've been very matter-of-fact throughout this hearing. Everything Mr. Weatherspoon says, you crazy, you don't know what you're talking about, you this, you that. But I have to say, as a mother, I mean, you've now had 3 children in the span of 4 years. And you're raising these children by yourself.
Yes, Your Honor.
2 of which, the man you say is the biological father doesn't participate, won't help, and denies.
Nice, yeah.
That has to hurt. Mr. Weatherspoon, you are the father. You truly look shocked. That little boy you've been ignoring, that's your son.
Feels good.
In the case of Weatherspoon versus Ferguson, when it comes to 1-month-old Elijah Ferguson, it has been determined by this court. Mr. Weatherspoon, you are the father.
You know now.
Are you all right?
What am I gonna tell them kids? I've been missed out on one of them for 3 years. I wasn't there for this one. What I'm gonna tell them kids?
You just gotta be there for him now.
Elijah, at least he will have the opportunity to know you from the beginning. You'll never get back the hospital time and the birth, but you can say you brought him home on the first day. Because Elijah's not gonna remember this. But Aiden knows that he was treated differently, and we are going to start changing that today.